Hi everybody, you're watching Astrophotography. My name is Daniel. I have made quite a couple of videos where I am going through my equipment in my observatory. That's an advanced Newtonian astrograph, and I was thinking I might go through the equipment that I began with to start with astrophotography. To begin with astrophotography, doesn't have to be expensive nor hard to get started with. Basically what you need is a camera and a tripod. To begin with, you need a DSLR camera or one of these compact camera. What I have here is a star tracker. This particular one is from Ioptron. It's called Sky Tracker. If you want to take some longer exposures, you need to compensate for the Earth rotation, and basically this is what it does. The most important thing when you're dealing with astrophotography is that you have to polar align. If it is a simple sky tracker or an advanced mount, which I have in my observatory, you always need to make a good polar align. Basically what that is you are aligning the mount or the tracker so it corresponds with the Earth axis. To do so, you have what is called a polar scope. I don't know if you can see inside of this, but it has some gratings in it to be able to see the northern star. So what you're doing is you mount the sky tracker onto a tripod, and then you can move this one up and down corresponding to the degree where you are placed at on Earth. Here I am at 59th degree north, so I basically just roughly align it to correspond with the 59 degrees. Now you can lock it down, and you also need to move it in this direction, roughly pointed to the northern star. Lock it down. What you have to do next is look through the polar scope, and maybe you don't know what the polar star looks like or where it is, so there's an app for that. So we will go through one app that I am using. It's called PS Align. Okay, so here you can see the reticule of the app, and also you can change reticule, as I mentioned, from Ioptron, Skywatcher. You have Celestron, Meade, Orion, basically you name it, you got all of them in there. Takahashi, Lost Mandy, Astrophysics, yeah, Vixen, Explore Scientific. You also got the Telrad finders, so just choose the reticule that corresponds with your mount. Here you can actually tick some boxes if you want to show refraction differential, also all other kinds of settings. You also have a quite comprehensive manual which you can look through. It goes through some different methods of how to polar align. You can also find good videos on YouTube on exactly how to polar align, but it isn't that hard, and the app really makes it a lot easier because it shows you directly on which position to put the star on the reticule. In the app you also have some explanation of all the icons in the screen, what they do. So yeah, I can totally recommend this app. It's called PS Align. I really hope it's available for Android also. So this is a planetarium software I use on my computer. It is Stellarium. It's free of use, very good program. I can strongly recommend downloading this. I was thinking about show you how to find Polaris. It isn't actually that hard. You basically need to find the Big Dipper. That is one of the more easily found constellations. If you look north, you can see it like a bucket with a handle. And if you follow these two stars straight up, and you will find the Polaris. Oh, go away. There we go. So just find the Big Dipper and go straight up and you'll find Polaris. It shows a bit clearer if I show the constellations lines. Here you can see the handle and the bucket, and just go straight up and you will find Polaris. But you ain't going to see these lines when you're out there in the night fiddling with your astro gear. And I just want to say that the polar star isn't exactly in the middle. If you see here, the polar star isn't in the middle of the prolonged axis of the Earth. So if you look through the reticule in the polar scope of the star tracker or your mount, this is why you should put the polar star not in the center of the reticule, but somewhere along this this line. And that is why I use the app called what's it called again? Let's have a look. PS Align. I use a iPhone for that. I believe it's several options out there for Android as well. But yes, that's basically how to find the polar star. Just find the Big Dipper and you will find Polaris. On the backside of this sky tracker you have a battery compartment, and it holds just two AA batteries. You have the reticule, which is always illuminated by a small red diode that will illuminate the reticule inside of this. My cat is helping me here. I don't know if you can hear him. You can also adjust the focus of the reticule, and you have a on and off switch. You can also power this one externally, and this is where it gets interesting. This is the switch where you can switch between whether you're located on the north hemisphere or the south hemisphere. It's just a dip switch. And you can also choose if you want to have the sky tracker track with the 1.0 sidereal rate, which is the same rate as the Earth moves, or 0.5 times that motion. So if you want to take a combined landscape and a starscape image, you might want to use the half sidereal rate speed. And basically that's it. So step 1, mount it sturdy and lock it down. Step 2, polar align. Step 3, mount the camera and position it to what object you want to photograph. And step 3, put it on, choose whether you're in the north or south hemisphere and which speed you want to have it tracking with. If you like my channel, please subscribe to it and you will get notified when I have uploaded some new videos.